Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, this is Perry M. Durant. How's it going?
Oh, Perry M. Durant. It's going lovely, or lovely, or however you would say that. How are you, sir?
Well, I've been better, I'll be honest.
Oh, no. What's wrong? Are you upset by my exultations regarding the great Big Jim Fridge?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I deeply admire the man, and I want to be like him. I try to emulate him. I've never met him. I'm sure he's a very large person. I'm kind of average height.
I'm bigger.
Well,
I'm definitely bigger than him.
You are actually physically larger than Big Jim Fridge.
Yeah, mentally, physically, everything.
Well, I'll have to take you at your word, Perry M. Durant. I do know from your Facebook picture you have a stunning mustache.
That's not a real photo.
Oh. What do you really look like? Just like Big Jim Fridge, but bigger?
Yeah, like 105%.
So you're 100.
Just slightly bigger, but still bigger.
Okay, so you're 5% bigger than Big Jim Fridge?
Yes.
Okay. Now, does he know that? And does he know you say these things about him and make these claims?
I don't care if he does or not.
Right. Now, well, let me ask you this. What is your problem with Big Jim Fridge? Like, what is it about him that bothers you so intensely?
Well, thank you for asking, Matt. It really is just everything. You know, I watch his Twitch stream, which is on at 4 p.m. Mountain Time every single day of the week, and then on weekends it's on at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And I watch it and I see him, and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I can't stand his voice, and I see him the prank calls that he makes on not even a show, and those just set me over the edge too.
Yeah,
I really can't stand them.
Yeah, I mean, is it like watching that? Is it like being sort of stabbed in the soul? You just and you're just overcome with rage and anguish.
Thank you for asking, Matt. Yes, absolutely, it's like that.
Yeah. Well, but why do you do it? Why do you keep going back for more? Is it masochism? Is it you hope maybe you'll find something to like about him? I mean, what is it that keeps bringing you back?
Well, I may have a severe dislike for him, but I have to admit that the content that he creates is really entertaining. It's really good.
Oh, okay. So you appreciate his work, but grudgingly so, because you find him to be such a despicable human being.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Chris James to my Jon Hopwood.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Well, I'll tell you what, Jon Hopwood very deeply dislikes Chris James.
But respects him.
Actually, no, Perry. I don't think he does.
Well, I think deep down,
well,
there's
maybe
some respect there.
Maybe deep down. Maybe very, very, very deep down. Not too deep, because Jon Hopwood is not very tall. But yeah, maybe very deep down. Yes.
Yeah, Big Jim's definitely bigger than Jon Hopwood.
Oh, Big Jim! It sounds like he's bigger than almost all of us, except for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, if you see John, can you ask him a question for me?
I would love to, Perry. Yes.
The question is, can I get a large pepperoni pizza, please?
All right. I'll pass that along to Jon Hopwood. Well, that was Perry M. Durant, who I've seen Perry many times in the Facebook live chat. But I believe that is his first time actually calling the show. Let's see. Oh, hello to Dr. Jeff Cassell, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. Perry M. Durant is claiming that was not him. That wasn't me, he says. Someone was impersonating me. Maybe it's Big Jim, the villain. I have to tell you something now. I wasn't going to say this. But when I was talking to Perry M. Durant just now, I did notice a similarity in voice. In both tone and tenor to that of Big Jim Fridge. The cadence was similar, and just the tonality of the voice itself. Now, I didn't want to say anything, but now I'm beginning to wonder. But part of why I didn't want to say anything is I don't want to think. I don't want to believe that Big Jim Fridge, a man whom I idolize, whom I've patterned my life after, whom I hope to someday meet and ask him to be the godfather of my future children, which I don't intend to ever have. I don't want to believe that he would do something nefarious, that he would engage in this type of skullduggery, impersonating his own nemesis in calling this show. I don't want to believe it. And therefore, I simply shall not believe it. And by the way, Perry did not claim that it was definitely Big Jim. He says maybe it is Big Jim. But we don't know. And we want to be very careful. Because, you know, on a program like this, on Matt Connarton Unleashed, one thing that we never ever do is speculate and offer conjecture that is wildly irresponsible. Now, some of you might be saying, Matt, you do that all the time when discussing politics. And to you, I would say, yeah, actually, you're right. You got me. But maybe in this instance, we should not do that. I mean, these are human beings we're talking about. Big Jim Fridge, he's a human being just like you or me, except bigger. That's why they call him Big Jim. Oh, my goodness. Perry M. Durant says maybe it was Jon Hopwood or Chris James. Wait a second. Now, I think we can rule out Jon Hopwood, because Jon Hopwood does call and attempts to impersonate other people. He attempts to impersonate Melania Trump, but it's obvious that it's Jon Hopwood. So I don't think Jon Hopwood could pull off an impersonation of you, Perry. I don't think he could. We would know it was him. But could it have been Chris James? Chris James has a history of ordering pizza at the end of a call. Could it have been Chris James? The answer is possibly, maybe. And it definitely could be. But then again, perhaps not. I think we can all agree on that. Perry also says Big Jim Fridge is 6'2" and 200 pounds. Wow, with a name like Big Jim Fridge, I expected him to be even larger, quite frankly. I figured he's probably 6'3" and 220. But, you know, when you hear a person's name, and this is often the case in radio, for example, you know, you hear someone's name and then you hear their voice, and maybe you hear some of their content in terms of audio. You know, sometimes you get an idea of what someone looks like. You get a mental image of what you think their appearance would be, and then you see them or you meet them, and it's completely different. Let's see. So we have a little bit of time left. There's still time for you to get in with a call, but it must be soon, and it must be quick. 603-250-6007. Perry M. Durant says, Big Jim often orders pizza at the end of a call. It's not just Chris James. It's Big Jim. This, my friends, is making me very hungry. Does Big Jim really do that, by the way? Or is Perry just suggesting that Jim does that to bolster his case that it was Big Jim impersonating Perry? But wait a minute. Nah, we won't go there. Let's thought of something else, but my brain is becoming overwhelmed by trying to figure out these mysteries. Let's see. We should probably finish with something quick because, well, we're almost out of time. Oh, if you missed it, by the way, I should, for those of you joining us late, because it is a 2-hour show. I can't expect, especially the evening commuters, I can't expect that you're hearing every scintillating second of the program every day. Let me play this. Speaking of Big Jim, this is Big Jim Fridge was able to cobble together a shout out because he called the other day and wanted Jon Hopwood to give him a shout out to Big Jim Nation. And Jon was uncooperative. He kept saying things in the wrong order and whatnot. So he did say all the words, but he didn't say them exactly in the manner that Big Jim was looking for. So this is what Big Jim, he shared this out on Twitter earlier. This is what he was able to come up with the audio from Jon Hopwood.
Big Jim Nation.
See, sometimes I play it and it doesn't. Let me play that again.
Shout out to Big Jim Nation.
There we go. So he does say shout out to Big Jim Nation, but Big Jim had to kind of, put that together with the audio of Jon speaking. So there you go.